Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Happy hump day. It is almost the weekend and I know I'm looking forward to that. While you are here, go ahead and like the video and hit subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. For those of you who follow my personal channel or are interested in following my personal channel, that will be linked in the comments. I posted a new video yesterday and that video was don't go into 2025 with that toxic man. And I go over some tips and advice on the power of like letting go, the power of releasing, because a lot of women are afraid of change. So I go into tips and advice on how to recognize that and move forward. My other two videos was a story time about how I fell out with my childhood best friend, and my first video was 1 year post-divorce update, what life has been like for me personally, love life, etc. So again, if you're interested in that, feel free to check that out. That's going to be linked in the comments below. Now for today's video, this is going to be Girls Trip Gone Completely Wrong Part 2. Y'all know how these girls trips can be, so go ahead and watch that and I will be back at the end for my commentary.
I started off the girls trip in an Airbnb and it ended with me in a hotel room by myself. Okay, let's talk about a girls trip gone wrong. If anybody from the girls trip sees this video, it's nothing personal. I do TikTok. I'm making a story time out of it. I'm going to tell what happened, okay? Nothing personal. Anyways, it was my friend is turning 30. She's having a birthday party in Puerto Rico, and her other best friend is also having a birthday. So they decided to have a joint trip to Puerto Rico, and so obviously both of them are inviting people. And so everybody on my friend's side, I did know they're not my friends, but I did know them. Everybody on the friend's side, I didn't know any of them, okay? Now, y'all know with group trips, a lot of people agree to going and then they bail out. Well, that's what I was expecting. Like when they were saying, oh, this many people, I invited this many people. I'm just like, all these people ain't coming. All these people did come, okay? So it was 15 people total, 15 women total. 2 of the girls did stay in their own Airbnb, but then there's 13 in another one, okay? That's a lot of women under one roof, okay? I already knew that there was going to be some bickering just because of we're women, you know, we get attitudes, we all have different personalities. I expected some slight bickering, okay? So I get to the trip a day after everybody. Like I come a day late. I don't know what happened on the day that I was not there, okay? I don't, and you'll understand why I say that later in the story. Okay, but when I get to the Airbnb, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed. It's nobody's fault that I was disappointed because the Airbnb was very much catfish. It looked nothing like the pictures, okay? They didn't even have bath towels. The girls went out to Walmart and got stuff. There was no blankets on the bed, okay? Like it was just a fitted sheet and a flat sheet. Mind you, it's mad cold in the Airbnb, no blanket. Only 2 of the bathrooms had hot water, okay? So imagine, you know, you might have to take a cold shower and then go get in the bed and it's cold. Like, no, like there's too many women under this roof for, you know, stuff not to be in order. Mind you, also 2 of the bedrooms and 2 of the bathrooms, they did not put on the listing that to get to them, like once you get into the house, then there's a back door, you go down the stairs, go around the corner. Like they didn't say all of that. Like they made it seem like all the rooms were in one house, okay? So I honestly wanted to get a hotel room then because I was just like, I'm not feeling this Airbnb. I don't even like to stay at Airbnbs for this very reason. Like I prefer to just stay in a hotel because if anything goes wrong, they're going to switch your room. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be bougie. It's a short weekend trip. Let me just stick it out, okay? Last day of the trip is where everything went wrong, okay? So we go do ATVs and have so much fun doing ATVs, okay? We lit, taking pictures, everybody's having a great time. So after ATVs, there's like a restaurant and bar there, and some of the girls wanted to stay and get drinks and the rest of the girls wanted to go back to the house. So I was gonna stay because my friend was staying, but based on how we were having to split the Ubers because there were so many people and we're gonna have to order multiple Ubers, it just made sense for me to hop in the other Uber, okay? So anyway, so I walk over, so they're still inside. I'm like, okay, I'll just go with them. It's no big deal. I walk over to the girls outside who were, you know, waiting for the Uber. And I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm just going to ride with y'all. How much is the Uber so that I can send you my portion, okay? So the girl who orders the Uber, she says, the Uber is $47, okay? So in my head, I just round up to 50. I ain't doing crazy math. So I round up to 50. It's 5 of us. So I'm like, okay, I'll send you $10. How do you want it? Apple Pay, Cash App, Zelle, what you want? She was like, no, I want $15. If you don't got $15, you can ride with somebody else. I was like, who the hell is she talking to? But I'm still trying to be cool. So I'm just like, oh no, girl, it ain't no pressure. I was just, you said $50, so I thought you wanted 10. Like, I was gonna send you 10. If you wanted $15, when I asked you how much was the Uber, you should have said $15. I don't care about none of that. If you ain't got it, it's too many broke bees on this trip. Like, she just turned up. Okay, so now I'm mad. Okay? I wasn't mad before. I was trying to be easy. Like, you know, everybody has different personalities. So at first I'm like, oh girl, just tell me how much you want. But now you're getting loud and I'm not feeling it, okay? So I started to get loud. I'm like, B, since we call it throwing out B words, B, it ain't nothing. Like, it ain't nothing but a couple dollars. Like, I'm not tripping off of $5. And she was like, well, you didn't send me money for the Uber last night. So I said, so we went to the club the night before. And I have rode back in the Uber with her. I asked her when we got in the car, I said, how much is the Uber so I can send you your money? She said, oh girl, no, it's only $5. So now you mad at me because I tried to send you the money. You didn't want it because it was only $5. But now you're trying to throw it in my face like I'm broke. So I'm like, B, you broke. You broke crying over $5 freaking. You need that money that bad? Send me your cash app. I should have threw the money in her face. If I had cash, I would have threw it in her face. So now we're both yelling. Y'all, then this girl says, you better shut the F up or I'm gonna smack you. Who? Okay, I was out. Who? Smack who? Okay, I left off with saying the girl said she was gonna smack me across my face, y'all, and I did dye my wig darker. I think it looks a lot better. But anyways, so she said she's gonna smack me. So now I'm like, smack who? Smack who? Like, do it. Do what you gotta do. Like, I'm ready or whatever. We in athleisure. You know, if you wanna get your ass tapped in Puerto Rico, I can make it happen. Let me know. I'll make it happen. So, you know, we both yelling, screaming. And so I'm like, so smack me. So at this point, I'm not even saying nothing back, but smack me, slap me. Like, we can do it or whatever. And she's like, no, just know when we get back to that Airbnb, as soon as you walk in the door, I'm gonna slap you. I said, we can do it right here. But she's like, no, when we get back to the Airbnb, get back to the Airbnb, okay, whatever. So the girls inside the restaurant could kind of hear some commotion, but I go back inside. I'm like, listen, I'm not riding with her. This will happen, and you know, it is what it is. When we get back to the Airbnb, we can do whatever. Now, this same girl, I'm gonna go backwards a little bit. This same girl that the morning of, excuse me, I was sitting out on the balcony just chilling. She ended up coming out there to smoke. Mind you, I was out there by myself. She came out there to smoke and she just started venting. You know, so many broke bees on this trip. Bees came all the way out to Puerto Rico. They don't got no money. They don't got money to do this, that. They messing up the excursions. You know, we missed an excursion because, you know, B-words didn't have their money right, blah, blah, blah. She's ranting and raving. She's kind of alluding to some things that happened prior to me getting there because, again, I got there a day late. But at no point in this conversation do I say, you know, when she's like kind of alluding to things that happened that I was not privy of, at no point did I say, what happened? Who don't got money? Who's broke? Like, what happened, girl? Tell me. Like, I was not being messy at all. I didn't even go back to my friend and tell her, like, oh, when I was outside, oh, girl was saying this, that, and the third. I didn't do anything. When she was ranting, I just validated her feelings. Like, girl, I feel you. Like, you know, I understand how you feel. Like, I would feel the same way, okay? Like, I did not ask no questions. I was not trying to be in nobody's face, okay? Not to mention she's not the only one who said something to me, you know, who vented about, you know, something that took place when I wasn't there. At no point did I try to get more information on, you know, why people had attitudes, okay? So anyways, I go back into the restaurant and, you know, I'm telling them what happened. I do, based on something that somebody said, I do feel like people was talking about me behind my back, but it is what it is. Everybody's not gonna like me, okay? I'm not the type of person that's gonna be bubbly with everybody. Like, I have to warm up to people. So until I warm up to you, I'm going to be very quiet, and it's gonna come off like I'm stuck up, I'm bougie, like I'm not trying to have fun, but that's just my personality. Like, if I don't know you, it's gonna take me a minute to warm up, okay? So anyways, we get the Uber back to, you know, the Airbnb, and the whole Uber ride, you know, I text my people, my parents, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna get a hotel room. This what happened. I didn't even tell them what happened. I just said, I'm about to get a hotel room. I cannot do this anymore. And I had told my sister what happened. So the whole ride back to the Airbnb, I'm just like, I'm ready. As soon as I come into this house, if she swings, you know, she's right there waiting for me, then, you know, I'm ready for whatever she got coming, okay? So we get back to the Airbnb, we walk in the house, she's not in there, you know. I went to the bathroom to pee. I come out the bathroom. I go in the room that I was staying in. Mind you, it's like a hallway of rooms. It's like 3 rooms on each side, or 2 or 3 rooms on each side. Yeah. I go in my room. I'm like packing up my stuff. I come out the room after I pack my stuff. I look in every room. I don't see anybody. Like, she said she was gonna smack me when I walked in the house. She knows I'm back. So at this point, I'm like, okay, she don't want to fight. She's over it. I don't care. I'm over it too. I'm out of here. Okay. So I call my Uber to come take me to the hotel. After I got to the hotel, then I text my friend and I was like, hey girl, you know, I left, you know, I'll meet y'all, like, if y'all go back out or whatever, I'll meet y'all there, but I'm in a hotel room because I need my space, okay? So she calls me, she's like, no, why did you leave, girl? You know, she wanted to talk to you, she wanted to talk it out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's cool, I don't want to talk about anything, you know, I'm over it. You already know how I am. I don't do this type of stuff, okay? Like, I'm already out of my comfort zone being around a bunch of people that I don't know. You're my only friend here. Like, I'm just gonna stay in the hotel and just let me know when y'all go out and I'll pop out, okay? So I'm chilling in the hotel. I'm happy because the hotel is so much nicer than the Airbnb, okay? It's in a cute little area, has a rooftop pool, it's cute. And then a couple hours after that, I get a phone call, and it's from the girl who was trying to fight me. So the girl who tried to fight me, she calls me, and she's like, hey girl, I'm so mad that you left. Like, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to apologize. I'm sorry about what happened. You know, it had nothing to do with you, and I just took out my frustrations on you or whatever. And I'm like, I told the girl, I'm like, I had no problem sending you the money, you know. You just told me $50. Like, I was just trying to find out the amount. And I was like, and you said that I didn't send you the money, you know, for the Uber last night, but I asked you about it and you said, oh girl, it's only $5 or $6. And to me, if somebody said that to me, I'm like, you saying it's cool, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, you're right, you did say that. And you know, you wasn't even here Friday for everything. So, you know, my frustration was not here, like, geared towards you. It's just like a lot of broke bees on this trip and it had nothing to do with you, and I just took it out on you or whatever. So she apologized and she was like, you know, if we go out tonight, I'm gonna get you a couple drinks or whatever. I'm gonna buy you 2 shots just to show you, you know, like, I'm sorry, like, I know I was dead wrong. So based on that, like, because I knew that she was irritated this trip, like, you know, we had the conversation that morning, I do feel like she took her frustration out on me. Like, I do feel like the apology was genuine and that, like, it really was not about me. It just came out towards me. So, like, I accepted the apology. The only part that I did not appreciate, okay, when she apologized, she kind of made a little, like, jokey joke, and she was like, but I got respect for you because you got right with me. You're not gonna let nobody punk you. Like, you know, when I turned up, you turned up too. I didn't expect that coming from you. And I was just like, that's weird. Okay, why wouldn't you expect that from me? It just gave bully. Okay, in my opinion, like, if you will say to somebody like, I didn't expect you to argue back with me, it just gives, like, I took my frustration out on you because I thought you would take it, because I thought that you wouldn't do anything. And that part I do not like, because I would never go after somebody or try to pick a fight with somebody who I know didn't want to fight, or who I'm picking on somebody that I know who I could be. If you're mad about people being broke, then why don't you go pick a fight with the people who was being broke? Why are you picking a fight with somebody who had nothing to do with whatever happened? Okay, like, that to me was just weird, and it gave bully. But it is what it is, you know. I'll probably never see this person ever again. So I don't care, like, but everybody wants to know what happened on day one. So I'm gonna tell you what I assume and what I know, and I'm gonna clarify a couple things, okay? This is gonna be the last video. And I want to clarify something that I saw multiple times in the comments. When she said something about, you didn't send me the $5 for the or you didn't send me the money for the Uber from the club, that was $5. The Uber total was like $5.86, okay? That's why she didn't want me to send the money, because it was 3 of us. So what, we're gonna all split a $6 Uber, $2 each? Like, even if I had called the Uber, like, I'm not gonna ask these girls to send me $2. Just in that moment, she tried to use it to throw it in my face, okay? Like, if the Uber was actually a full $5 a person, yeah, I would send it to her. But $2? No. As for what happened on day one, this is what I assume happened, because when I got there or whatever, when we went out to eat, because of so many of us, they would not split the tab like that many ways. They wouldn't do like each person. Like, they would only split the tab 3 ways. So me, my friend, her 2 cousins, and another girl, we all know each other, okay? So we all, each time it's 15 of us 5 split the tab, our tab, like, we were one. And because we know each other and, like, we're cool, like, they're not like my friends, but I know them, I just know my friend or whatever, we didn't like say, oh, my meal was $40, your meal was $30. We just split it evenly every single time, so we'd have no issues. Sorry, y'all. We have no issues because we just split the tab evenly, okay? Whereas I feel like maybe the other girls were actually trying to, like, tally up how much they spent and only pay what they, you know, had. And if she was the one putting her card up or whatever, and then you think about tip and stuff like that, I'm assuming because she kept talking about people being broke and, you know, not sending her money or whatever, I feel like she probably had put her card up and people did not send her what they were supposed to send her. If that was the case, because I'm assuming, I would be mad too. I would be that mad. But I would be mad at the person who did not send me what they were supposed to send me, not some random person who came a day late and don't even know what's going on. Also, she did tell me when we were sitting outside, she was upset because we were supposed to go jet skiing that morning. So the facilitator of the trip or whatever had found a guy who could do jet skis for the low, and he basically was like, this is how much it's going to cost, send me the money. And so she had told everybody, whoever wants to go jet skiing, send me your money so I can send it to the guy. Well, people were kind of stalling, dragging their feet, and he ended up canceling and was like, you know, I got somebody who's ready, so I'm canceling on y'all. And we couldn't find any other jet skis instead. So she was upset because she really wanted to go jet skiing, and because people had not sent the girl who was trying to book it the money, we ended up losing the jet skis. So she was upset about that too. But again, nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me, okay?
So story time on how Miami really moves friendships. So sophomore year of college, me and my friends, you know, we plan to go to Miami for spring break. I love Miami for spring break. My birthday's during that time. I'm like, all right, I'm with it. So my friend invites one of her friends. She's like, oh, like, I want my friend to come. I'm like, okay, once again, like, more people to split the cost with us. Like, you know, I'm cool with it. So we get there. This girl's already kind of like moving weird or whatever, because once again, she really don't have no money. You could tell. So it's the night before we're supposed to leave. Our flight the next morning is like really, really early. It's at like 6 a.m., you know, whatever. But some niggas, they're like, oh, come like to our hotel. Like, we got a pool. We getting bottles. Like, come. We're like, all right, cool. So we go and we're having a good time. We're in the pool. We're taking shots. We're having a good time. But once again, nobody's really trying to get too drunk because we know we have an early flight the next morning. Except this one friend of a friend. This girl gets white girl wasted. I'm talking about stumbling, slurring, like throwing up, the whole 9 yards. And we're looking at her like, number one, you're embarrassing us. Number two, how the hell are you supposed to get on this flight earlier the next morning? So they're like, oh, Maya, like, call the airline, like, see if we can get on a due flight, because there's no way she can get on this flight. Let's see if we can get on a new flight. So I called the airline and they're like, yeah, basically it's going to cost like an additional like $400 to change your flight. I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, I can get on this flight. So they're like, oh, well, like, we don't know. Like, keep in mind, this girl's so drunk, they literally had to carry her like upstairs to like their room type thing. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know what y'all plan on doing, but we got to get this together. So boom, we take a Uber back to our Airbnb. We're in our Airbnb. This girl like passes out, goes to sleep. They're talking. They're like, yeah, well, we might have to like, we might have to just bite the bullet, and like we might just have to spend the extra money to like, change flights. And I'm like, yeah, y'all can spend the extra money. I'm not spending no extra money because first of all, I don't even have no damn money to be spending. So they're talking. I'm like, whoa. Meanwhile, I'm packing my bags because I know it's time to leave in like 2 hours. I got to leave to go to the airport. So I'm packing my bags. So they see me packing my bags. Cool. I finished packing my stuff. I'm like, yeah, so what y'all finna do? They're like, oh, we don't know. I'm like, all right, well, I'm packing my bags. So I finished packing. I take a nap. Boom. I wake up. Everybody's asleep. Nobody has packed. Everybody's asleep. It's just one girl. She's sitting on the couch. She's not asleep. She's awake. She's scrolling on her phone. I grab my packed stuff, grab my suitcase, call my Uber. Because it obviously looked like they're not going nowhere. They obviously staying here. So I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. So I grab my stuff, whatever. I roll on out the door. She sees me leaving. I leave. So, cool. I get to the airport. They're texting me, you're wow. How you just going to leave us like that? Why you didn't say nothing? You should have woke us up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, y'all are grown. Y'all acted like y'all wasn't going nowhere. Nobody had their bags packed. And plus, shorty saw me leaving. So you knew I was leaving. So they finally, I guess, get it together, whatever. They get to the airport. The airport lines are real long, like dumb long. Because everybody's leaving Miami the same day. Airport lines, long. So I try to like text them basically like to be like, hey, like, do y'all want to come up in the line with me because the line's so long? They mad. They blocked me. Roadblocks me. Well, sucks to suck. You know where I got on that plane? You know where they ended up? Stuck in Miami because they missed their flights. And they kept saying, oh, I'm a bad friend. You're a bad friend. And I'm a bad friend because Shorty couldn't handle her liquor. And y'all thought it was my responsibility. Y'all are grown. We're all grown here. You saw me leaving. You should have got your ass up. And that's just that. What y'all think? Do y'all think that I was a bad friend for getting on a plane without them?
This is the statement of the decade. The article.
Baby, y'all want to talk about going to Miami with no money? Let's just talk about taking trips for your birthday in general and people not coming and not showing up. And I'm going to tell you how I lost a friend like that. So this girl, me and her were really cool. Very sweet girl. Oh my God, I had known her for a long time. I had hooked, one of my friends liked her. I had hooked her up with the guy, whatever. They were going strong. She kind of really didn't tell me everything that was going on in the relationship, but I thought they were going good. Like, okay. My birthday was coming around. I remember telling her I wanted to go to Miami. She's like, I'm going to come. No problem. She had already been acting weird because her birthday was a month before mine. And I had set up a dinner for her. Like, I know she was going out of town, but I said, hey, just come to this dinner. We want to celebrate you, blah, blah, blah. She texted me last minute, oh, I can't come to the dinner, so I had to cancel it. So I just thought that was weird. Anyways, fast forward, closer to my birthday time, I'm like, hey, this is where I'm thinking about staying. Where do you think we should stay? She gives me like, oh, we should stay here. And I said, well, it's going to be this split. She was like, okay, no problem. A week before the trip, or like 4 or 5 days before the trip, she just stops responding. I swear to y'all, stops responding out of nowhere. So I'm confused in her because I'm like, damn girl, like I booked this room with my money thinking that you were gonna come, like, and like you're ghosting me type shit. I want to find out she ghosted me, never said anything, never explained. I came back from the trip. We had another friend that had a birthday the following month, and we weren't going like to Miami or anywhere like that. We were gonna have to drive, and she was gonna drive with me. I reached out to her, same thing, no response.
And I was just so hurt because I'm like, damn, okay, not my trip, but our friend's trip you don't want to go to? Whatever. So it made me realize, like, I don't know if it was monetarily, because she never monetary. She never explained to me why she didn't want to come, and I remember being so hurt at the time. But now that I've gotten older, I do realize that it is harder and harder for people to make your birthday trips because it's just so expensive. I would love to get to the point where I'm not even doing a birthday trip with any friends. I just hopefully have a man, okay, and I could just force him to come with me. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't and you just want to celebrate with your girlfriends, if you don't want to go by yourself, it's hard not to take that personal, especially when you are always making their trips. So it becomes this thing like, okay, I'm always showing up for this person, making my way to go to that person's trip, and they're not doing the same for me. So now I have to deliberately withhold myself so that I don't feel like I'm always showing up for people that aren't showing up for me. So overall, I say that to say, moving forward, I feel like as long as you give people notice and say, listen, baby, I can't afford that trip, okay? Bills is killing me. I got stuff going on, or I got too many trips planning up. I feel like if you give people enough notice, then it doesn't hurt as bad. But we're getting to that era now where if you're gonna, and especially now, like, if I don't want to go to Japan, I'm not gonna pay my money to go to Japan just to make my friend happy. So there's also that too, like where your friends will go to places that you just don't have any interest in going to, and you shouldn't feel forced to spend your money.
So you mean to tell me we've been having a cabin trip planned for the past 2 months just for today to be the trip for the person whose plans it were to go ghost on us? Okay, so we're going to call this girl Keisha. So Keisha told us already the days that we needed to put in, and then she also told us that we didn't have to chip in on anything because she was covering all expenses, from paying for the whole entire cabin and then also paying for the Sprinter bus for us to all get there and get back home. Only thing that we had to buy was our costume, bring a bottle, bring your swimsuits, and your luggage. That was it. We like, cool, that's a good little free weekend trip. We're going to have a good time. She was positive that she didn't need us to bring anything other than what she asked us to. Keep that in mind. Okay, number one, y'all, we never seen the Airbnb or the cabin. She never showed us what it looked like. We just assumed that these was the plans that was about to happen because of the type of person she is. When she says she gonna do something, she do it. So as the weeks go on, we all talking about the trip. Everything's good. Everybody's getting their things together. Everything. So this is the week that the trip is happening. No signs were given that we're not gonna go or that she's gonna ghost us. So the day before the trip, we confirmed the time that we had to be at, we're gonna call her TT house. So everybody was getting all their stuff together and going to bed early because of course we had to get up early because we got a 6-hour drive. So the day of the cabin trip, the morning of, which is today, I get up at like 6:50, go pick my friend up and go make some extra errands or whatever. Get to TT house at a good time. Y'all, we have not heard from Keisha. We've been calling Keisha. We was texting Keisha. Keisha has not said anything. Keisha was supposed to get the Sprinter bus at 7 a.m. At this time of day, it's 9 a.m. Okay? Nothing. As mentioned, we were all waiting at TT's house on Keisha. I personally reached out to her multiple times, and not only just me, but everybody at the table, everybody that confirmed that was going, called this girl. She's not answering the phone. I spoke to her the night before, and then to even go back furthermore, she's been in my house multiple times, and everything was fine. Like, we all were just so geeked about the trip, but the day of the trip, Keisha's nowhere to be found. Okay. I even went as far as, we're going to call this character Kay. Kay is Keisha's sister. I contacted Kay to ask her if she has spoke to Keisha, or at least, if she's around her or whatever, because they were together the prior night. Kay's like, she's in the living room and I'm in the room. She's in a whole different room. So I proceed to then say, okay, cool. So I hang up the phone and I end up texting Keisha. Like, girl, wake up. Like, what's going on? We all sitting here waiting at TT house, and what are you doing? You were supposed to get the Sprinter bus at 7, and you're not here. We need to be on the road at least by 9:30, 10 o'clock, according to Keisha. So she's still not answering. So I call Kay back, and she doesn't answer. So then Kay sends me a message, and she's like, I'm on another call. What's wrong? And I texted Kay back, and I said, well, we're trying to make sure that, she's up so that we can all get ready to go on the road because we're waiting on her. If I need to go and pick Keisha up, then I will do that. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, Kay said, well, y'all are texting each other, and basically she don't have no control over what Keisha do or whatever. So I responded back, and I told her that the only reason why I got in contact with you is because I had already called Keisha multiple times and sent her multiple text messages on both phones, and she's not answering the phone. And not only, again, is it me reaching out to her, it's everybody. We're all sitting at the same table, like, confused. Bags are already packed, everything. We're ready to go, like, ready. And so she never responded back. Kay never texted back after that. So when I say 2 hours go by, we still have not heard anything from Keisha. Blowing this girl up, completely blowing her phone up, like, to the point to where it's like, okay, what in the world? Then we're like, okay, well, maybe we'll just spare some time. Let's go out to go get lunch. Maybe she'll send us a message or pop up or something like that. Hours go by, y'all. Still, keep in mind, we had a 6-hour drive to go. Check-in is at 4 at the cabins. It's 12 o'clock. The party starts at 6. Dinner starts at 8. Like, keep in mind, this was all of Keisha's idea, okay? And no, she go in her moods, and she has her days where she just don't want to be bothered, but that's neither here nor there. Y'all just follow along for part 3. All right, y'all. So another day has gone by, and we still have not heard from Keisha, which means she's still MIA. Just to throw this out there, Keisha is not my friend. That is my cousin, okay? She's family. Now, as mentioned in the last part, which was part 2, she never answered, okay? We all called multiple times, still couldn't get a hold of her. A lot of y'all are curious as to why, 1, we never went to go pick her up, and 2, why didn't Kay give her the phone when I called? Number 1, we never had the exact address as to where Kay lived at. We just knew she lived somewhere out on the east side. Didn't have the exact address. Keisha, I had her location. She unshared it a long time ago. So I did try to attempt to reach out to her other sister, but the sister phone is off. So there was no help there to go pick her up, or at least to try to attempt to get the location so that we could, or somebody else could do it. Kay, why didn't Kay give her the phone? When I called back the second time, remember I said she never answered the phone. So there was no opportunity for me to even try to tell her on the phone, hey, pass her the phone over, because remember, she was on the call. When it came down to planning the trip, she specifically told us that she did not want any of us contributing to any type of financial things because she had it all taken care of, which is kind of odd because when you have a large group of people going on this spectacular trip that's supposed to happen, you're going to want somebody to pitch in on something. That's just too much. And then it's your birthday on top of that. Money's never been an issue for none of us. We would have all came together and did it, but just so y'all know, we did try to offer something. She don't want to take the help, so that's that. Another thing that I want to throw out there, the night before this trip was supposed to happen, she had already said what her plans were going to be for that day. She was going to go to this basketball game, sit courtside, and then do some other things outside of that. That's fine. You want to pre-turn up for your birthday. I get it. We've all done there. We've all done that and have been there. But what doesn't make sense is, how do you not wake up the next day? Or how do you just go ghost the next day? Because if it were me and I got a cabin trip planned and booked, all my peoples is ready. I mean, luggages is packed. Everybody has all of their things together. We already know what time we're meeting at TT's house. Oh, we gone. I would be so ready to get up the next day and hit the road. It's not no, I'm going to disappear. Because I don't know where they do that at. That's why I said, Keisha, this is for you. Because you clearly did not learn your lesson. A lot of y'all are sitting there saying, well, maybe it was a trust issue. Listen here, Linda, it was never a trust issue, because when she had her guest list made out already, majority of the people attending the cabin trip was strictly family. And then there was a small percentage of people that were friends that she had already knew. So it was never that. And then she also specifically said that the people that were going knew how to carry themselves while under the influence, and also are lit people, good energy, good vibes. And nobody that was going on this trip was just unusual, okay? It wasn't that. We're just all confused. We're lost. This is not something that we seen coming. I really wish I could read the future, because this would not have happened and I would not be telling y'all this story. But that goes to say, a lot of things could have been prevented. A lot. And I just don't understand how you can plan something and there's a lot of failed parts within the whole situation. And I will take part, in not realizing the red flags, because again, when you have a trip plan, you make a group chat with everybody that's attending this trip. You got an Airbnb or a cabin booked, send pictures of what it looks like. That gives us something to look forward to. Okay, this is what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? This is where people, rooms is something, food, all of that. It was none of that. And then, you want me to add on more? I asked her plenty of times, let me see what the cabin looked like. I did. And what did she say? All right, here go y'all part 4. And after this, I'm going to let it go. So let me just start by saying she's fine. How do I know she's fine? Because she personally called my phone going completely off about how I'm wrong for making these type of videos about this situation and basically completely putting her name out there and putting her on blast on the internet. I also was in the wrong for apparently not trying to check on her to ask if she was okay, and then for also making these videos without her consent to even do so. We all never received any type of apology for this, and we all still don't know why we were ghosted for the trip. That's it. Everybody took days off. Everybody got their stuff together. We were all ready to go for us just not to go. Because apparently, we don't know. We all had hope that she would appear. We went to lunch and everything to try to spare time. Maybe she'll appear. But nothing happened. So with that being said, everybody has questions with no answers. So we're going to leave this story here. And if y'all want more story times from me, I will give them to y'all because I have plenty. But that's all I got to say, y'all. So that's it. I heard from her. She's fine. I got backlashed for posting videos that were sent to her, and I'm wrong when all we were trying to do from the first place was check to make sure she was okay. And in the midst of that, none of our calls were being answered. None of our messages were being answered at all. So felt like I had a story to tell. Everybody that has a trip planned, that's because it's fall now, that's ready to go out somewhere, of course y'all gonna be excited. Y'all gonna be ready. And I'm sure if this were to happen to you, y'all probably would do the same thing. And I'm sure there are some of you who have been through this same situation, or if not similar. It's nothing new. But y'all have a good day.
Okay, ladies, let's have the conversation, because this happens way too often where girls are going on girls' trips as friends and coming back not friends. And I have said my opinion on girls' trips on the first girls' trip video I made, but we're going to talk about and have the conversation because clearly it's still happening. So let's talk about it. So with the first girl, I feel like the moment that your friend who invited you on a girls' trip told you that she was planning her girls' trip with another girl that you don't even know, and then the other girl was going to be inviting her people, I feel like that was the number one indicator to first look at, like, do you really want to go on the trip or not? Because that's letting you know, like you said, it's multiple women on this trip. I think she said anywhere from 15 to 30. So can you handle that? Do you want to be around that? Especially because that is the only friend you like are close with. You said that you knew of the other girls, but the friend that is planning the trip is the only friend you actually knew, which sucks. It sucks when you go on a girls trip and that is the only person who you know, and she has all these other women around that you might know but not be really cool or close with. You know what I mean? So that's the number one indicator to look at. Like, do I really want to go on this trip? And I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying, it's like, because sometimes it's just necessary to, like, you know what, girl, have a good time. I got you a gift. When you come back, I'm about to plan something special for us. Or before you go, I'm going to plan something special for us. It's just to avoid unnecessary drama, because it's always some type of drama on these girls trip. And I feel like that's way too many women. And I am the friend to where if it's like way too many women, then I'm just not going to go. And 15 to 30, and y'all want all these people under the same Airbnb, you're asking for a cat fight. And the reason for that is because, think about it. Oh, did you drink my liquor? Who drank my liquor? I had liquor in here. I don't want to eat there. I want to eat here. I don't want to go out. I want to go here. Like, you're asking for little cat fights. It's too many emotions. It's too many hormones. And that's exactly what happened. Little cat fights, just little dumb, unnecessary energy and drama. So it's just too many women. So if you were going to go on something like that, especially since it's her birthday, there is a difference between just going on girls trips just to go and then special occasions like birthdays, a business lunch to support your friend. Obviously, if they're getting having a wedding and like bridal parties, etc. So that's a difference. But if it's just girls trips just to go on, you just need to analyze and see if it's even worth it, especially when it's a lot of women, because it cries drama. But if you were gonna go on something like that, I feel like immediately, then you need to go ahead and get your own place. The moment she told you how many people was going and you put two and two together, if you really wanted to go, get your own place. No and it's ifs or buts about it. Get your own place. That's too many women. Okay, so get your own hotel, get your own Airbnb. Hey girl, I got my own place. I'm here. I made it safe. I'm going to meet y'all at all the excursions. Point blank, period. Okay, when it comes to the second, and another thing is, I am glad that she stood up for herself. Like, she said that the girl said, like, oh, you went there with me. I didn't think you was going to go there with me, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, stop undermining people. Stop thinking because people look a certain way, they're not going to go there with you. Especially girls who you deem as pretty or bougie or stuck up. Like, yeah, we're going to go there with you because we're tired of going there with people. We the main ones who are going to go there with you because we've been fighting haters off all our lives. So, like, stop undermining people thinking that they're not going to go there with you. That's how you can get yourself in a bad situation, by undermining somebody. When it comes to the second story, I don't feel like she was wrong. And this is something I spoke about in the first girls trip video. You need to know all the details of these girls trips. Like, I need to know who all is going. What is the financial matters of these women? What is their alcohol intake like? Are they boy crazy? Are they risky? I want to know these situations. I prefer to know the women personally if I'm going to go on a girls trip, but obviously that's not realistic for every single situation. But I feel like if you are the planner and this is specifically your friend, then you're responsible. Especially if you brought your friend on somebody else's trip. Like, for example, if it's my birthday and I have a birthday trip and you're like, hey, can my friend so-and-so, Kathy, go? Yeah, but you're responsible. Okay. And the reason I say that is because the situation's just like this. You mean to tell me that we all was responsible enough to know not to drink heavy because we have a flight to take in the morning, but all of a sudden your friend apparently didn't know that or isn't responsible enough to know that. And I don't know how many nights they were there, but it's like, why would you wait for the night that you have a flight the next day to drink like that? So I don't feel like she was wrong and just going ahead and going to her flight, because this is not my friend. This ain't my people. This is your people. So it's like, y'all, whoever know her is responsible for her. I'm not responsible for her. And it's like, I'm not coming out $400 for that. Are you going to go half with me at minimum? Are you going to pay me $400 because I booked my flight? And people don't realize people have kids. People took off of work. You never know. So it's like, if I go out of town, for example, and I tell my mama my flight is going to be back around this time, so I'm going to get my kids at this time, she might have already planned something around that time. So relying on the fact I'm going to get them at this time. So you never know also what people have going on. She already spent the money to support you. She's already put the time time and energy in to support you for your celebration. So the fact that you're mad that she don't want to come out $400 extra because somebody she don't even know couldn't handle their liquor is beyond me. So again, y'all know the details surrounding these trips. Like, and you as the planner, you shouldn't be inviting people if you don't know enough about them, especially their financial matters, okay? When it comes to like the girl with the bonnet, the third story, who was talking about how like, you know, she planned this trip and then her friend never really, I guess, said anything about it, or, you know, basically went ghost on her trip type stuff. You know, that's a messed up situation. That is an unfortunate situation, but it does happen. And it might be one of those things to where like financially she just couldn't do the trip. So for her and the last girl, when it comes to those situations, even if the last girl, the birthday girl, not even showing up, you know, communication is key. So I will respect you more if you straight up tell me like, hey, you know, I can't afford it. Like, I can't, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I thought I could afford it, but I can't afford it. And you never know. I'm the type of friend to where if I have it, I got you. Like, girl, don't even worry about it. I got you. I've told my best friend that before, to where she was going through it financially and she planned her birthday trip. And then she ended up going through some stuff to where she's like, you know what, girl, I got my flight. I already had all that, but it's like, I'm not going to have money to spend when I get there. So I really don't even want to go no more. And I told her, I said, don't worry about it. I got you. Like anything, it's her birthday anyway. So it's like, I got you. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I did. I made sure I had her. And that's what kind of friend I am. So you might also have friends who are like, girl, don't worry about it. I got you. Like, I got your other half of the flight, or I got this, I got that. So just communicate that. And if you feel too ashamed to say that, then those aren't really your friends. If you feel too ashamed to be like, listen, I thought I could afford this financially, but I can't. Like, we're going to have to plan another time. Or like, girl, I'll give you your money back, whatever. Just be honest and tell them. Like, but not showing up, that makes you look even worse. And then the birthday girl trying to like reverse and act like a victim is beyond me. Like, don't plan this and have us already taking time off of work, already getting childcare, doing all of these things just to come back and say like, just to come back and not say anything. Like, we're all here. We're all waiting on you. Where are you at? Like, that's annoying. And then you mad at her for sharing the stories and talk and try to, you know, reverse that and be like, oh, well, you should have checked on me. I'm sorry. What was they doing? When they're calling you and they're texting you and you're not responding, and then they don't know specifically where you live at, and then they already asked your sister, like, hey, you know, where's she at? And she says you're on the couch. That lets them know you're okay. Then at that point, what else are they supposed to do? You should have communicated. You should have straight up said like, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to no more, which really probably would have got them upset, but at least they know something. They're sitting here having lunch and waiting on you so they can leave out and drive out to get there at a good time. Why would you wait the day of to be on some ghost stuff? Like, that stuff is weird. Like, I don't know. That whole situation is weird, but I would immediately cut her off. As soon as I know that she was okay and you just on some BS not contacting us or whatever, then I would cut you off, especially when it becomes the next day. I'll give you a full day to communicate with me because you might be going through something mentally, emotionally. But once it comes that next day and you done wasted my time and energy, blocked. Like, I just don't have time. So ladies, just be very cautious when it comes to these girls' trip. Again, don't be afraid to ask questions, details, how many people's coming. Don't be afraid to kind of try to ask like, hey, you know, like financially, is everything gonna be good for everybody? You know, how's people's alcohol intake? Like, don't be afraid to ask them questions. And if you have friends that you know are probably not gonna be good at holding their liquor, who you know financially got some issues, think twice about inviting them. And if you do invite them, then just know you're gonna be the one who needs to be responsible for them. You know, when it comes to vacations in general, I'm with the girl with the bonnet. She's like, you know what, hopefully I can get a man so I can just plan, you know, vacations with him. And sweetheart, that's the best thing I feel like a woman can do when it comes to vacations. Like, I've seen some people in her comments like, oh, girl, you can just travel by yourself. And you can. If you feel comfortable doing that, by all means do that. I don't feel safe doing that, so I don't do that. Just like doing a whole vacation by myself. But if you want to do that, there's groups for that. So feel free to do that. But me, baby, I'd rather do a vacation. Why? Because first of all, not only are you looking cute and getting eyed down by your man, which should happen when you're on vacation or not, but just saying, it's just a whole different vibe on vacation. You get to do, you know what, as much as you want. No distractions, no interruptions. You don't have to pay for nothing. Okay. You shouldn't have to pay for anything most of the time. Okay. And then at that, you feel safe. So you get to do all this, living your best life by feeling safe, being paid for. Like, I'm so with the vacations. Vacation me, please. Okay. Vacation me. But let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all on the next one.